Howdy y'all, welcome back to Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright. I am still hunting garages. That is my big plan. Ooh, we're gonna have to turn down my headset a little bit here. Woof. You know, I didn't look in here. Hey, I just let you out. Couldn't give me a second to get rid of here? Well, that was disappointing. All that was in there was a zombie to punch me in the face. I didn't like that. Alright, let's see if we can find some more garages to hunt in. So, I recorded a day early. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving for me. I normally record on Thursdays, but this Thursday is Thanksgiving. So I don't know what my schedule is going to be like tomorrow. I do know that my schedule today changed dramatically. Normally Wednesday is my super busy day. And today, not so much. I had thought that that I was going to get started on. Why am I moving so slowly? Oh, because I am way overloaded. That's why. I had thought that we would be getting started on my new D&D campaign today, but unfortunately, one of the guys is sick, so we are not getting started today. He is not willing to play. It's almost really suspicious that that he was suddenly too sick to play my campaign about a demon plague. So, no demon plague campaign today. I put a lot of work into getting that thing prepared. I choked a little bit. I'm not sick. I just got peanut brittle. Whoa. I thought that was a horse for a second. Nope. It's much worse than that. I thought there were a couple of you out here. Weird. I could have swore there were a couple of zombies out here. Where'd the other one go? I see you. Trash bag that I thought was a buzzard. That was frightening. Hey, at least we got that level 6 stone tool, right? Lots of lockpicks. I like that. So, yeah. It's I know I talked about it last episode, but it is, I put more work into it since the last episode. I spent so much time getting all the NPCs loaded in and all that stuff like I talked about. And then I had to send messages to my players. I'm like, hey, you guys need to be figuring out what you're going to play so I know what kind of tokens to put together for you. Oh, oh. Because my one player hadn't even decided on what class he was going to play. It'd been 2 weeks. We rolled last week, so he'd know what stats was. He hadn't even thought about it. He just had stats. He's like, "Oh, I got my stats." I'm like, "Yeah, no, we rolled for that. You gonna come up with a class and a name at some point, or what?" But yeah, we're all character classed up now. Um, I mean, we're starting at level 1, so I only know the class. I don't know what kind of that thing they're gonna be. Um, so uh, the way it works is you pick a class like a fighter, right? So fighter's wears armor, uses a sword kind of thing, maybe. There's lots of different ways you can go with that. Fighter basically can use lots of weapons and armor, right? And they fight with weapons and armor. They don't use magic. They can use magic if you play the right kind, but they're more geared for using the weapons and armor kind of thing. And so you don't normally find out the subclass, which is where you get into what kind of fighter they are, until like you hit level 3. So at level 1, you only know a little bit about a character. Um, so we've got a rogue, which is a thief that can pick locks and stuff like that, disarm traps. Uh, you know how stuff usually goes in an RPG, right? And then uh, an artificer, which is someone who makes gadgets to help them fight. That's a relatively new class. I've never played one, and this will be the guy who's played his second one. He wanted to try out a different version than the... Dude, I'm trying to get a drink here. A different version than the one he's already playing. And so then oh, her whole head just came right off. And then a paladin, which is kind of like a fighter, but has cleric magic, like heal spells and anti-undead and things like that. And then what's this other character? Warlock, which is basically a wizard. They're trickier than a wizard to play, and so that's what we ended up with for the 4 characters. And then we'll have to see. We'll have to see which directions they go. I know that I was talking to the one guy tonight, and he's going for an artillerist with his artificer, which means guns. And then he didn't say what direction he was going with his rogue. So I don't know. We will have to see. I guess I don't see a way down in here easy, other than dropping in, which I didn't really want to do, but I do want to check out this gun stuff. Never know what kind of goodness you'll find down in here. Nothing, apparently. But yeah, it's should be. Hopefully it goes all right. I've never been the DM on Roll20 before, so all this Roll20 stuff is new to me. I've been a player, but there's a lot of so like, ooh, she's gonna kill me. Yep. So like, I wanted to see about getting a player connected to his character tonight because I've been the opposite end. I've been a player who's being connected to his player, but never been the guy who has to do that. And so I got the one guy to log in and what is that X? Oh, chemistry station, right? And where's my bike now? And so, oh, I got other points. Can I spend my points? I think I need 2 points. I only have 1 point available. Electrician can get 1 point. Since I'm trying to work my way towards steel or fine steel, one of those two things needs to happen. But yeah, so like I talked before, it's just super clunky. Like I've got it in there so people can import their own characters, but then there's nothing for them to import into, apparently, and so I had to. So I found tokens that match their race and gender and class, and put those in the game, and I gave them the names of the characters they're playing, and so I thought they'd be able to associate themselves with those tokens, and I had gone in and I had said they're controllable by those players. But what I didn't do is also say that they appear in the users' journals, which is where you keep your characters in Roll20, which makes no sense. Like, why would they be able to control it but not be able to see it? You know? And so that was a weird one. That it's two different things you have to set. It's not on the same. It's not the same spot basically either. I don't know. It's such a weird and clunky setup. I wish it was easier to use. All right, this is where I was at, right? And then I just got to jump down this hole. So go back to searching here. All right, zombie that killed me. Wait. Dang it, I got hung on the thing. Oh, great. Having stamina issues here. Woo, she made me bounce upwards. And then her head came off. So, but yeah, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get to play tonight. I was excited to start the story. Some of it I gotta figure even out how we're gonna start the story. I don't understand Like, so I'm doing a pre-made campaign, and it seems a bit more in depth than some of the other ones that I have dealt with. So there's a lot of information going on in there, which is good. The more information, the more I know where and how. Oh, dang it! I always think that this office chair is search that desk. It never is. I'm always picking up those office chairs. And but one of the things it doesn't tell you is which direction they approach the town from at the beginning of the game. And so I don't understand because the game is just like, oh, they just start in the town, but they're not from the town, I don't think, because they don't know anybody. And it says when the characters first get to town, they'll be directed toward the guy, to start the quests and stuff. And so that's all good. And but it doesn't tell me which direction they're coming from. And you wouldn't think that that would be a big deal, but it is, because some of the really important things they're supposed to deal with are on one end of the map, which is the end of the map that I think they should be coming from. And on top of that, like, the map that the players are supposed to be able to view is almost totally blank. And so I get that because of what's happened in the story, but how did they get to town? So it's definitely a weird thing. It's definitely a weird thing that I don't know how they got to town. So I guess my plan is that they will have just come from that direction and just didn't see the things they're not supposed to see yet, which is plausible. It's not like, oh, you're just blind. It's a good distance. I think each hex is 6 miles, and so they could have just not traveled in the hexes where the stuff was. Oh. Zombie frogs. See that guy hop over the wall there. There we go. See, I almost picked up that chair again. But yeah, so I think they're probably I don't know. I'm gonna have to leave it up to them, I guess. Either we'll take a boat and come in from that direction. Either way, I'm not sure. Like, there are things that are going on in the town that make it super difficult for people, like no food and stuff like that. And so that's like a major plot point, is that there are food riots. And so I mean, I guess they could try to travel with a small. You know what? I think that's what I'll probably do. Thinking about it, I'll probably have them travel with a small caravan that just can't make it, and they'll get sent on ahead to see if there's anything that anybody can do. Because the things that have happened are like horrific, right? So it's a this tree is making it very difficult for me. I can't see this dang tree. Man, I was kind of hoping to find some bookshelves. Or, you know, steel. Steel is what I was really after. Or a better gun. Although this is a great gun. Also, it's not as dark out here as it was inside. How do I get up there? That's the beginning. I don't want to go in the beginning. I want to go up higher. Whoop. That was weird. Watch it, the big buzzards. Oh, there's a trap door over here. Apparently I was supposed to climb up and didn't do. Do we get to go up on top of this building here too? Is there like something hidden up here? Another hole. Really? There's like no loot area up here? Some loot down in here, maybe? Oh, yeah. A lot of loot in here. Oh, it's locked. Ooh. But, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. It's way more complicated than any adventure I've ever played in. I don't know that it's more... There's a lot more going on than the adventures I've run in the... not so much that... like maybe the same amounts of stuff have... Lockpick, will you just pick? Have happened in the campaigns I've run, but... because I don't plan as much ahead. Wow, this just won't pick. There we go. I don't even know if it was worth it. And so usually things come one at a time. Is it steel? I got really excited that it was going to be steel. It wasn't steel. A bone knife and a level 6 wooden club. Shotgun parts, machine gun parts. I think that's my... I think that's the 5th machine gun part I need, right? And then nobody needs padded boots. So that's a nice plus. Oh, apparently I can't fit out this hole. Yeah, I can. You don't tell me what to do. Come on, it's nighttime. I gotta get over to my bike. Oh, I sprained my leg falling off a tree. That happened. And so there's a super large amount of things going on in this town that they can run into, and we'll have to see how this goes. I'm definitely not used to a town with as many NPCs with things to do. It's almost like a video game town situation where there's just like all these side quests. And the thing is, though, is that like I don't know that there are many quests in town that maybe don't have. I don't think any of the quests that I read about in town are like useless side quests. Like, I was headed for the bed, and that's not even where my home is. Not there. My home is this way. Oop! And then I just ran into a rock in the dark. Like everything is related together, and which is probably why it took me so long to get my notes together, because it wasn't just like, oh yeah, this guy wants you to go and kill a rat. This guy wants you to go and find some berries, kind of thing. It's like this guy knows the secret about this guy, and if you help him do this thing, then later on it will change the outcome of this thing. But then there's this other quest that if this gets found out, then he won't be able to do that because his secret will be out. And there's just a lot of like overlapping twists that happen depending on who you side with and what what you do about it. So like just to give an example, there's the town council, all right? And so the town council is made up of, I think, 5 people. There's the village master and then 4 council members. And so the town village master stays in power by blackmailing the town council members. And so one town council member murdered a guy. And the village master knows it. And so just him knowing that guy murdered a guy. So now the council member is looking for ways to get rid of the village master that don't involve more murder, I guess. He's got some of this stuff hidden in his home, so if you find it, then you know that guy murdered that guy. But he's also got a bunch of food hidden, and if somehow all of that plays out, that you get him to give up the food to the townspeople, you can hold off on the food riots that are going to happen because there's no food. And it gives him bonus points when it comes time to decide who is elected the new village master. But there are 2 or 3 quests that either directly involve the body of the man he killed or hint that something's not right. And so if that happens, then he's got negatives to the thing. But if he can hide the fact that he's, killed this guy, then that doesn't happen. And so that's just one of the council members is that involved in this story. It has nothing to do with the main storyline, but everything to do with the only town. Like, this is the kind of side quest stuff that I like. I hate, go find me this ring that has nothing to do with the dungeon, and you won't get a reward you can actually spend, because you actually don't spend any time in town. So me giving you a favor from my in-town family is not going to help you. Um, you know, it's a dumb side quest. It didn't progress the storyline. It doesn't change how things are going to happen. It's a bad quest, in my opinion. And so I like ones that fit into what's going on. So there's a reason to have done it. I need a reason to have done it. I'm going to give you money if you find this thing. Does the thing have anything to do with the story? Well, no. Well, then no. I only want things that have to do with the story, or something to do with shoring up the defenses of the town against something that may or may not happen. I can get behind that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, it's a I can put these in here. I guess I've got so many of them now. So uh, man, I got too many empty bottles now. And then like one of the council members doesn't have a whole lot going on for her quest wise. There's four of them, right? One, two, three. I don't remember who the fourth quest member or fourth council member is. One of them found a locket dropped by the village master, and because she recognized the locket, and it belongs to one of the village members or one of the villagers, um, who whose husband runs the trade guilds, or not the trade guild, but the traders. The big store in town. Because the village master is having an affair with her, and not only is the village master having an affair with her, but the dude knows it and is fine with it as long as they. Oh, you know what? I totally missed the stuff down here in my hotbar. As long as the village master keeps paying him off to keep his silence. Uh, and so this woman council member knows it, but she doesn't have any reason to use the fact that she knows it yet. And she's got the necklace that proves it. And then one of the other council members, she's a sorceress who's in hiding, and I was like, that's weird. Why would she be in hiding? I mean, sorceress is not a shunned thing in this game. And no, she's in hiding because her master wants her dead. And the village master knows it because he found her wand and knows who she is and knows that she's being hunted. And so he has that to blackmail her with to make sure that they vote him in every time. And it's really interesting. Uh, and so the all of this is going on while a crazy necromancer guy is trying to destroy the world, which is the actual. Oh, I thought it said I had a sprain. I can't put a splint on my sprain? Alright. I just thought I could splint up my sprain. That's what you'd do. But yeah, so I'm really intrigued by all the quests going on. And there's just like, there are like murderers in town, and there's refugees, and and fighting between the different groups over who should be in control and whether or not the refugees should have voting rights. And uh, meanwhile, outside of the town is destroyed. A comet struck a glacier, and the town is the only thing left in the entire valley because it was up on a hill, and everything else is covered under snow and ice and rock and mud, and the ice and snow is melting from the heat of the supernatural comet that struck, and so uh, everything outside of town is just like this muddy wasteland, and there's no food and no supplies are coming in because no one can get through the muck. But somehow the adventurers just magically appear in town to start the campaign, which I find weird. Um, but yeah, like I said, I was really hoping to get that started tonight, and well, we'll maybe get it started next week. So with that, be better than the small things, lean in the light, and I will talk to you later.